Hello there, this is Starscream again, Starscream Jets. I thought I'd do time to do a review of Ultra Magnus. I think we all know what he stands for. Well, I don't know if you call him a good leader, to be honest with you, in the movie. He's very short-lived, and then he gets blown up by the sweeps, so that's not particularly good credentials, is it? But talk a little bit more about Ultra Magnus as a character before going to the actual toy. I've got a couple of them to show you, and there's a lot of variations between them. Believe it or not, you wouldn't believe it. I sound like I'm repeating myself here, don't I? Anyway, back to the character. Started off in the movie, apparently a soldier, loyal to Optimus Prime, handed the Autobot leader of Matrix of leadership and attempts to refuse it, but under obviously the orders of Optimus Prime, he accepts it and assumes command of the Autobots. I suppose in consideration of the circumstances in which he takes it, he does pretty well, to be honest with you. And he really does have the best intentions at heart for the Autobots. Unfortunately, as regards knowing, I suppose, the appropriate time to use the Matrix, he lets himself down because really he's not the chosen one. Apparently Hot Rod is, and he's destined to become Rodimus Prime, but don't really want to talk about him, as you know I'm not particularly a fan of his. And inevitably he loses it, and, well, as we know, Rodimus Prime takes it. So let's get on to the character that he takes more of in Season 3. He is almost all the time, he is prompting, standing up, looking after, overseeing, and generally guiding Rodimus Prime for the entire Season 3. So in that aspect, he's superb. And I'd rather actually like to talk about him in the comics, to be honest with you, where he really stands apart. He has a superb comic run, 2006, where Rodimus Prime sends him back to Earth in an attempt to stop Galvatron in destroying Megatron and changing the future. And he takes on Galvatron in a one-on-one, pretty brutal fight, I would say, where obviously Ultra Magnus, for all the best will and intention, and being a notable warrior, he is no match for Galvatron. He just cannot compete with his superior power. He gives it everything he's got, and that's what we like about Ultra Magnus. He's a real fighter. Regardless of the situation or the circumstances he finds himself in, he's always willing to put 110% into fighting. And that's why I think even the Decepticons actually respect Ultra Magnus in some way. There's an episode in Flight or Flee where, this is a cartoon now, I'm on about the Season 3 episode of cartoon. I'm sorry to jump from one to the other, it's just what I'm remembering as I'm talking. And he's charging at Galvatron in truck mode, and he's fleeing this planet. And Galvatron goes, wait, he's either, he shouts to him, coward, and then he thinks to himself, hey, he's not a coward. And he orders all the Decepticons to flee the planet immediately because he realizes there's something wrong. He knows what an honourable fighter Ultra Magnus is. So it's a slight bit of respect there from Galvatron for Ultra Magnus. And there's another one in Forever is a Long Time Coming, I think the episode's called, where he is put in the situation with a Decepticon equal, who is Cyclonus. And even Cyclonus in that particular one can respect Ultra Magnus and the situation that they find themselves in. So he even earns a respect of Decepticons, and that's not an easy thing to do as an Autobot, as we find out through various comics and episodes in the cartoon. He even appears in the Headmasters one, where, yet again, he's an honourable fighter defending the Earth base, and he unfortunately dies in Headmasters. I've forgotten the name of the episode, it's The Death of Ultra Magnus. No prizes for guessing that one, I suppose, you remembered that. He fights Six Shot. He has a great battle with him. It's a bit disappointing, his death. I expected him to go black or grey or something like Optimus Prime does, but he doesn't. And pretty much that's the end of Ultra Magnus as far as I can remember. But a superb warrior, as he always said to Optimus Prime, I'm just a warrior. But there you go. Okay, we'll talk a bit about the toy now. This is the reissue one, which you could get in Toys R Us. You notice the difference. I was pointing all the differences out. I mean, I've got an original one to show you the variations. long weapons here. I don't know why they've done the long weapons. I don't like them very much, but that's what they did. And obviously the reissue had the nice rubber wheels. Can you see them there? You see them, rubber wheels? Yeah, rubber wheel Ultra Magnus. You may notice a slight variation on this one. It's because I've got a bit of white here because I've applied the stickers I get off that particular shop, which are called repo labels, which I can't say enough about. I think they're brilliant. And head moulding, look. He's got the proper silver horns and silver face. And an interesting thing to note about Ultra Magnus is there was a Diaclone version of him, and if you get a specific copy of Transformers a movie, you'll see the original colours in which he was filmed in, which is Diaclone colours, sort of like red and orangey blue colours. It doesn't resemble this colour in any way. Exactly the same toy, does not resemble the colour though. So I don't know where they originally the idea was to paint him this colour. Personally, I think he looks better like this, but I don't know where the idea came from. Something you may not know about this Ultra Magnus and all of Ultra Magnus, and that the Diaclone one had, and I don't think everybody does, put him aside for a second, is this part here. It looks like a little jet, doesn't it? And you see his head, and the raised bit in his head there is actually made to fit on, to make a little jet with a little gun thing on there, where you put the Diaclone chap in here. I mean, it's not brilliant, but it's something which I think it really was designed for. It's not in the instructions. I don't know if it's in the Diaclone ones, but it's a nice touch, I feel, because when you put him in trailer mode, it's a nice little jet to have on the top. It makes use of the spare head and chest panel, which you're supposed to just discard when you put him into trailer mode. Having said that, that's another variation. It's not really a variation, they all do it. What am I saying? Sorry, I've not had a good day today. And you notice here, because it's the reissue, he has very short smokestacks, because Americans are very stupid and would probably apparently poke their eyes out. It's not very fair to the Americans, is it? Or us, in actual fairness, but there you go. What are you going to do? Go around attacking people with Optimus Prime smokestacks? And it's not even Optimus... Well, it's Optimus Prime's shell, isn't it? And you can see the... I'll take the little white guy out for the time being, because you know he's Ultra Magnus anyway. There's nothing exciting about that. Another variation. Painted face. There was 3 different cab variations for Ultra Magnus. There's the G1 version where he has no paint on his face. He has plastic wheels, and he hasn't got glass in the cab. Then there's one where he has glass in the cab, but no painted face expressions. And then we got the painted expressions, slight bit of paint and metal wheels. There's so many variations of just this cab. I don't know why they've done it. They're not saving themselves any money, are they? I mean, in all fairness, it's just as cheap to make this one as the others. But I'll show you the G1 version as well. And he's in truck mode, to give you an idea too. There we go. G1 Ultra Magnus. And we can see the tooled smokestacks. And this is yet again, the rubber-wheeled G1 version, which, before I say anything more about it, I just want to point out the weaponry there. See, a lot shorter. It should be out there, blind, out there, I suppose. The one I just showed you. I don't know why they done it. I don't like it, to be honest with you. And here we see the cab again. And I'm not sure. I've got the painted face version again with... Oh dear, he's stiff, this chap. Let's get this out. And we see painted G1 face Ultra Magnus, which is quite nice actually. And he's got the bit of plastic for the windows. And as I said, there's the other one which doesn't. Another interesting thing to know about this is not actually a character in his own right originally. It was just meant to be the cab part, and then they changed the actual idea of the story now, if you notice in the Dreamwave one, and it's actually Optimus Prime's apparent long lost brother or something along those lines, or the actual Ultra Magnus blue part of him that we see is just some sort of battle armor which he discards in one where he helps out Optimus Prime. Well, there you go. I mean, that's pretty much it for Ultra Magnus. As I said, a good warrior, a good fighter. He's quite, as I said, it's just reusing the G1 mold for the cab. I like Ultra Magnus a lot, to be honest with you. I don't think he was given his fair run, to be honest. But in the comics,